Hello, my name is Colleen Reynolds, and I'm the instructor for ART127 Watercolor at the Western Nevada College. And I have put out some image preparation instructions in your Canvas module for the course. And I want to record this quick video to show you visually how you would go about adjusting images so that you can upload them efficiently to Canvas so that they're not too big and don't take up too much room on your computer drives or your cell phones. So first of all, you need to be in the Adobe Photoshop program in order to follow along with this. The Adobe Photoshop programs are available in the library for student use. So if you don't have the program yourself, then I would encourage you to go to the library. There are other programs that you can do this. It would be similar, but I can't possibly give you a tutorial on every possible application. I'm going to do the Photoshop application because that is what's available to students in the campus library. So you want to bring up the program. This is Photoshop, Adobe Photoshop Creative Cloud, and you'll want to go to, from the main menu, open and find a file that you want to adjust. So I have some images that haven't been adjusted yet, so I'm just going to pick one here. And so now I have an image that hasn't been adjusted in any way. So I want to first level the picture. So I've taken the picture in accordance with good methods. So it's fairly good lighting, it's fairly level, it's nice and flat. I took it with my iPad, so it should be similar to the kind of photo you would get out of your cell phone or your other personal device. So the first step is to level the painting. Make sure it's as level and square as possible. So this one's pretty good, but let me go ahead and show you that process. So I like to come to the side toolbar and click these crosshairs. That's the crop tool. Once you click on that tool, if you hover over that, it'll tell you what it is in a minute. It'll pop up and give you a brief description of what that tool is. You can see as you go down, it gives you the description. Okay, so I've got the crop tool, and you'll notice across the top here, this toolbar has also changed. So we want to first level it or straighten the image. So I'm going to click that icon, and now I get a little crosshairs. I'm going to put it in one corner, and then I'm going to click left and drag over and get it where I want it to be level, and I'm going to hit release. So now the image is leveled. The next step is to crop it. So you can see that there's these little cross corner grab tool bars. You're going to grab and just click left and hold and bring it up to the point where you can crop out all the extra material. If your image is a little keystoned, you're going to have to straighten it up a little bit, so you may have to come in a little bit from the outside. Our goal here is to eliminate all the background that doesn't have anything to do with our image. And then it's most important to get the top level because that's where I have all the writing on my chart here. This is a little color mixing chart. Okay, and then I'm going to bring in all the crosshairs. These middle ones don't change, only change one direction. So this middle one changes the width, this middle one changes the height. But if I turn in a corner, I change both the height and the width at the same time. So that's the difference between the different grab bars. And you'll note here I want to come in a little bit closer so I don't have any extra background showing. Okay, then I'm going to hit enter on my toolbar. So now we have it straightened and cropped. So this is pretty good, except the color isn't that good. I've got a variation in the white noise here. So what I want to do is adjust the white balance. And so the super simple way to do it is to go to your image pull down menu across the menu bar, get on the image pull down menu, and go to adjustments, and then come over here to match color. and then just when this pop-up menu comes up, click the box that says neutralize, and that should get rid of any sort of color imbalance. So it'll make your whites whiter. Say OK, and then now it's dark though. I want it to be a little brighter. So this is supposed to make the colors look like they actually do. Okay, so now I'm going to come to adjustments and show you that you can adjust the brightness and the contrast here. So just, you can play around. This is a pop-up menu comes, you can get it off, so you click and hold and move it around using the grab bar there. And you can adjust how bright it is. You can also adjust the contrast in this tool. In this, I don't think I want to adjust the contrast too much. I'm going to put that back to 0, but I do want it to be a little brighter so it's not so dull. You see, I'm just going to increase the lighting a little bit. You can also do another adjustment. You can come to image, do adjustments, and you can adjust the vibrance. Perhaps you want to make the colors a little brighter so they reflect. The best thing I can give you advice is try to get it to match what your actual art looks like. So I'm not going to make any changes, just showing you different ways you can do that. Okay, the next thing we want to do is make this file smaller so it's not so big. So according to your directions in Canvas, how to prepare an image, you want to make it 72 pixels per inch and 10 inches on the longest side. So what do we mean by that? So once again, come to the image pull down menu. This time we're going to choose the image size option. Once this pop-up menu comes up, you'll look at these different numbers. You want to make sure that you have this locked so that if you change the height, the width also adjusts, and vice versa. And you want it to resample because we want it to be smaller. So we want to resample all the pixels when it makes this adjustment. So we're already at the right resolution, which is 72 pixels per inch. Most cameras nowadays take an image at 72 pixels per inch, and you have to change it up or down. Some of them might change it or come in at 180 or some other resolution. 96 is a common one, but most computer screens can only read 72 pixels per inch, so that's the best one for digital applications. But we want it to be smaller, so this is now 25 inches by 17 inches. We can change the units, and you'll notice up here this inches are translated into pixels. We can change the units if we want to into pixels, and you'll see that that's what the pixels dimensions are. So we don't want it to be this big though. We want to have a file that's smaller. So I'm going to come back to inches because I think better in inches, and I want to find the number that's biggest. So this is 25 by 17, so the bigger number is 25. So I'm going to change that to 10. So that's what it means by change the longest side to a 10. So that is going to make this image now 10 inches wide by almost 7 inches in height, and we have 72 pixels per inch. So adjust the pixels first. If it's not correct, adjust that number first and then change the sizing. And you'll see, you can see what the pixel dimensions are. Up here it translates the inches into pixels. So this is now 720 pixels by 483. It's going to be a pretty small file after this. And then it makes it smaller. If you want to see it a little better, you can come down to your toolbar again and select the zoom button and zoom in a little bit so you can once again look and see if this is the image you want. Okay, the image itself was a little blurry. I'd have to go back and take a better image. But look, I noticed that there's still some extraneous background in there, so maybe I want to crop it down a little bit more. I can hit the crop tool and then crop in a little tighter just to eliminate that extra background. Sometimes you can't see it if it's too small. Alright, once you're satisfied with making sure it's level, you've got all the extraneous background out, you've made it small enough that we can upload it and exchange it and share it on digital media. Now we want to save the file off so that we can retrieve it again. So you're going to come to the File pull-down menu now, click Save As, and name your file. So this is Mix Yellow Mixes. And I'm going to say ART127, just so that if I forget where I filed it off, I can always just search for ART127 for all my files associated with ART127. And then know where you're going to put it. I'm putting it in my Dropbox file in a folder I call Watercolor 2019. I'm on a Mac, so if you're on a PC, this box will look a little bit different. So it depends on what systems you're using, but this recording is on a Mac. So beware, if you're on a PC, things will look a little bit different, but the menus should be similar. Okay, then you're going to say Save, remember where you put it, and notice how you tile. I'm going to, this box comes up, says what are the JPEG options, and so I want it to be as high quality as possible, given my constraints. And then I'm going to say OK. And then I can close out the file. So those are the that's visual interpretation of the directions in your image prep file that gives you all those steps that you have to do. I hope this is helpful on showing you how to prepare the images before you upload them to Canvas to satisfy your requirements for the assignment. Thanks so much.